What's good, y'all? Hope y'all having a wonderful Thursday morning so far. I just wanted to drop this message for you real quick because I received a message from Spirit, and it wanted me to remind you that this next season in your life is going to require you to step in it in boldness. This next season in your life is going to require you to step in it in boldness. There are some of you out there who you know what it is that you're supposed to be doing, but you haven't done it yet. There are others of you who you started on what you're supposed to be doing, but you didn't finish it yet. For some reason, you stopped working on it. And I feel like for both situations, it's about fear. Fear is what's standing in your way. You know, the self-negative talk. The one thing about fear is it's a false evidence appearing real. Meaning, most times you're creating the fear by your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? The self-negative talk. You know, the doubt that you may have. You're creating these thoughts. And fear is what's stopping you. The one thing about fear that I can speak on, and what I've learned throughout the years, is fear is only overcame when you go through it anyway. The moment you begin to feel scared, the moment where you're uncertain about things, that's when you need to take that leap of faith. In this next season in your life, it's about every step you taking in faith. It's about you not leaning towards any of your understanding or what you think you may understand. This next season in your life is literally walking into it like you blindfolded. And having faith that, you know, Spirit and them gonna see you through. You feel me? You have to get over the fear. You gotta face the fear. The only way to get over the fear is to face the fear. And what you'll find is the more times you allow yourself to face the fear, the more times you are conditioning yourself to face it each and every time. Fear is one of those things that you will always face. We always will. But the more, like I said, the more you learn to fight through it anyway and do it scared, then the more you'll be conditioned to when it comes to you again, you won't be so afraid to face it. You know what I'm saying? So no matter how much your heart is racing, no matter how sweaty your hands might get, no matter how many thoughts you might have in your head, you gotta get away from that fear. You gotta face that self-doubt. And understand that Spirit is not going to ask you or assign you to do anything if it didn't feel like you was able to do it. You see what I'm saying? You got to understand that everybody, each and every one of us brings something to the table. And you bring something to the table that nobody else in this world can bring. You serve it in a way that nobody else can serve it. And that's why it's important for you to tap in. That's why it's important to face your fears. Because what you have to serve, what you bring to the table, how you serve it is needed. You know, I look at life like, you know, how we all connected in a way. If you know, you know. Each and every one of us has a puzzle piece to this big ass puzzle. You see what I'm saying? We all need your piece to the puzzle. And the only way you will be able to put that piece into the puzzle is if you face your fears. You got to step into this next season in boldness. You know what you got to do. And those of you who started on what you're supposed to be doing, you know what you got to finish. You know, I get it. The anxiety and all that shit running high. But you have to face it. And I'm telling you through experience. Everything that I've succeeded in my lifetime, I faced the fear. My greatest moments, my most successful moments in my life, I faced fear. Fear didn't even go away the whole time. Every step I took, it was right there. You feel me? But I had to learn to get acquainted with that motherfucker. Because listen, I'm going to complete. I'm going to succeed. I'm going to do what it is that I'm supposed to be doing, whether you here or not. And that's how you got to look fear in the face. Understand that nothing beats a fail but a try. If failing is the reason why you have that fear, understand that some of the greatest people, all the people that, went on before us and they invented things and created things and served the world, you look at their stories, you'll see that they failed a couple times. It took them a couple times to finally perfect what it is that they're doing, to finally create what it was that they created. You see what I'm saying? And that's how you got to look at that shit. You're going to fail a couple times, but you can't allow that to stop you from putting in the work and completing what it is that you're supposed to be completing. So get ready. You got to get up. You got to get up. I know it's overwhelming at times. I know it's tiresome at times. I know sometimes you don't feel like putting in the work, and you may be going through a lot of shit in your life and you feel like your back is against the wall and you just don't have the energy, but you have to get up and you got to step in this next season in boldness, because a lot of what you done asked for from spirit is there at that next level, but you ain't gonna receive it until you get there.